Ladies and gentlemen, whoever you are, welcome back to another Quick Fit video. My name is Babsy, and today we're gonna talk about the Mallor. The first thing I have to say is this ship is pretty ugly, according to me. But it does its job pretty well, especially for a new player. But it works very good for an old player as well. Even better now that I think of it. Because it is awesome. For a ship cruiser, you can do miracles, kinda. This is a pretty cheap cruiser. The level requirements to use it is pretty low, so that means everyone could actually use one. In the background, I am showcasing the current fit. As always, I'm doing a T10 expert encounter. And now I am actually facing missile ships, just to stress the tank a bit. And it's actually holding up pretty good, even though I am only using one armor repper. Just like the Stabber, we are taking advantage of the speed tanking. It's not as fast as the Stabber, but it has more resistance. And with more resistance, you tend not to need that many reppers. As you see, I am only using one repper at the moment. This is not an issue. Doing this kind of activity with the Mallor, it's no biggie. It's gonna handle it. So let's get into the fit. The thing everyone has been waiting for. Let's talk about weapons. You have two choices. You either go with pulse lasers or you go with beams. I would say you actually only have one choice. You should go with pulse lasers, because when you are speed tanking and using beam lasers, you will have a really hard time hitting anything, except maybe for a battleship. So my advice, go with pulse lasers like I do. Go in pretty close, orbit them at your optimal and just go to town on them. And you can pimp this as much as you want. Since all the Dead Space loot is so cheap, if you can afford it, go with Dead Space on everything. Okay? Next, we have a NOS. Just for that cap stability, as we always love. It always feels good to have cap, right? Yeah, that's how I feel. And then, since the Mallor only has 2 med slots, we're using a web for those pesky little frigs that you need to kill fast. Because if you get webbed, you might actually have a bit of a pickle. So kill the frigs, web, shoot and kill the frigs as fast as possible. Like always when speed tanking. And then we just threw in a random drone of choice, of course. This doesn't really matter. The drone isn't gonna make or break this fit. So just take whatever you feel like, okay? For our tank, we have 1 medium armor repper. This is enough for the things I'm doing, at least, since, yeah, we're speed tanking. I'm using a Dead Space repper here as well, because it's cheap. Next, we have a red adaptive hardener. A little more resist, because Mallor gets resist bonus, so this stacks pretty good with the bonus the ship gets. Pair this with a reactive armor hardener and you'll be golden. Just so we could top the DPS just a little bit, we add a heatsink. You should use the heatsink as well, because if you're doing something harder or something that takes time, this could actually help you save a bit of time at least. Not a lot, just a little bit. So use it and make a little bit more damage. And the final piece of the puzzle is the afterburner. Same goes here. If you have the ISK, you should pimp this out. You should use the best afterburner you can get, because it will help you. It will help your tank by a lot. Okay. For the rigs, I just went with 2 damage rigs. And I'm even only using 1 CCC rig, because apparently you don't need a second rig. So you can choose whatever you feel like in the empty rig slot. Whatever you can find, whatever you can fit, just fit it if you want. let's see how the DPS looks. Right now, we are at 537 DPS. And that is cold DPS. The heatsink is not active. Still, that's pretty good for a cruiser. Stabber gets more, but this has a better tank. And potentially could get a better tank as well. So, is it worth buying the Mauler? Definitely. Is it worth doing a T10 expert encounter in it? No, not really. Is it doable? Yeah, definitely. Because this ship is a beast. It's an ugly beast, but it's a good beast. Okay. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel absolutely free to leave a like and a comment telling me anything you want to say, really. Doesn't matter, just say something nice. You can also consider subscribing because you know what? It's free and it helps me out and you will get notified when I release a new video. You guys have an awesome day, morning or evening and I'll talk to you in my next video. Goodbye and fly safe.